children and teens are concerned about very different things, okay? They have different cognitive capabilities, different psychosocial levels of maturity. And so the conversations are gonna look different with kids of different ages. So there's a lot more sophistication and sort of nuance to kids' understanding about COVID the older they get. So some of this has to do with the types of fears that we typically see at each age or developmental stage. So for babies and toddlers, ages 0 to 2, this is a theme you're going to see across a lot of these ages. Being separated from parents is a major fear for kids at this stage. They're afraid of strangers, loud noises, or kind of sensory overload, and costumes. Any of you who have had infants, you know what that's like when your little one, sees somebody in a big costume that's supposed to be fun and they're terrified. So that's a really common fear at that stage. For preschoolers, ages 3 and 4, again, separation from parents. They're often afraid of animals, like dogs, for example. They're afraid of the dark, any loud or scary noises. If there are changes or shifts in routines, so by that I mean things like if you get a pretty significant haircut, you change your hair color, maybe you shave your beard, that can actually really freak your kiddo out, right? If you look different and they're just trying to sort of make sense of who you are and what this change is. So those are common fears for preschoolers. For early school age kids, ages 5 to 6, again, being separated from parents still is a pretty significant fear at that time. They're worried about making grown-ups upset or getting in trouble. They're worried about getting sick or hurt. They would talk a lot about bad guys or bad people, and having bad dreams, right? Because it's still hard for them at this time to know what's real or what's not, what's in their imagination and what's not. That's why they're afraid of things like monsters, right, in their dreams. So if we kind of continue on and think about older kids, so when we're talking about ages 7 to 11, sudden tragedies or crises tend to be a significant fear, a parent getting sick or dying, sometimes being at home alone, and definitely that fear of rejection by peers and how their peers might be judging them. For adolescents, still being judged by peers is really significant. They're worried about themselves or somebody they care about getting hurt. Failing in school, current events they're aware of that are going on around them. They're worried about how that might impact them. So things like school shootings, for example. Talking to parents about personal issues, they get afraid of that. What are my parents going to think if I tell them this? And they definitely are afraid of missing out on major things or things that they think are really important or significant. So if we keep these fears in mind at different stages, it definitely plays into the kinds of conversations we're going to have with our kids of different ages.